Hey, what's up everybody? I'm going to do a quick video on guitar rig and also how I'm chopping samples just a tiny bit. I'm doing this upstairs and I've got the kids around and I've got the dogs around, so if there's lots of noise in this video, sorry about that, but that's how it is. So what I've got right here is I've got just a simple drum break on here. Hopefully you'll be able to see this screen. I kind of made a makeshift mount so that you guys would be able to see this. What I do when I'm editing my samples, my breaks, is I use this knob right here is my zoom, okay? And if you zoom in, this knob scrolls. When you zoom in, it also changes how fine your start and end points are. Like if I'm all the way zoomed out, if I just turn this a little bit, it's going to move like that. But if I zoom all the way in, I can go like this. So I don't have to hold down the shift button. You know, if I hold down shift and do it, you know, that's not doing anything. You know what I mean? Like, that's not needed. But what I like to do is the way I edit my breaks is, you know, by using two hands like that. So this sample is pretty much already made into a loop. What I want to do is I'm going to use guitar rig. But I'm not going to use guitar rig just for one purpose. I'm going to use it for many. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go to guitar rig, okay? And when it's loaded up with nothing in it, you'll see you have selections up top here for input left and right, okay? If you're on a guitar or a mono source, you would just keep it as L so that the sound comes out of both speakers. What you can use this for, though, in Maschine is you can use it to select which side of the sample you're actually hearing. This is a stereo sample. The left side is not as prominent as the right. So let's listen to the left and then the right. Now let's listen to the right. Now let's listen to both. So I just want the right because that's the most prominent one, okay? So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and resample it with that on there. Go to record. I'm going to go to internal. I'll hit start, and I'm going to take my threshold down just a little bit, and okay, and there it is right there. And I'm going to go ahead and edit this sample a little bit. I'm going to take the end of the sample off. Let's bring this in. Let's actually drop that back just a little bit. Okay, zoom in a bit. Take it right there. Alright, so there's that. Alright, now of course we could slice it out. Alright. I'm just going to apply that to a group real quick. So I have the... What I want to do now is on this group, I'm going to set my polyphony to 1, and I'm going to tune it down about -3, just because I like it like that. Now, something that guitar rig lets you do is, because guitar rig is basically a house to put all your effects into, instead of being limited on the group level to only 4 effects, you have a whole rack of effects that you can throw on there. So we're going to start again with guitar rig. This time I'm going to select left and right because it's the same. So it's coming out, you know, both sides like that, but it's a mono sample really because I've resampled it. And I'm going to go ahead and grab some components in here. Let's go ahead and make this thing kind of funky. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to grab some reverb and show you how that sounds. You can throw a reflector on here. Something that you can do that's really cool with reflector is, because it's a convolution reverb, you can actually change the samples, the impulse response samples. So let's say for instance I wanted to do this. Let's drag this drum group. If I can get it, there we go. Oh, okay. Right there. And what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to go ahead and select an IR folder, desktop, and then I'm going to grab that sample. Where is it at? It's got, oh, I have to hit choose. Okay. And what I can do now is I can just go ahead and grab that. So what I've done now is I've grabbed that drum group that I just dropped, and I'm using that as an impulse response. Listen to what it does to the drums. Basically what that does is it lets you use your sample as the echo for your reverb. So with that, you can do all sorts of interesting delays. If you put like a vocal sample on there, you can make your drums, in effect, sing. Like I said, I'm upstairs and I got my family here. So what I've got here is I've got the drums, and I'm affecting it with the same drum loop. So I'm kind of doubling up on itself. And what I can do is you can do different things with amplifiers to make it sound a little bit more dirty. I really like the, where is it at? The twang verb for this. We'll use, should I use the tweed? Yeah. Okay, so I've got the tweed on here real quick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the amplifier for a second and just keep the cabinet so you can hear the difference. So as you see by doing that, you can get lots of different sounds. You can get these kind of old school funky sounds out of your drums like that, these old school distorted drums. So that's kind of fun to resample that kind of stuff. I'm going to leave this on here for a second, but I'm just going to turn it off. Another great thing to use is the vintage verb on here. The vintage verb has a great sound with it. And that sound right there is really good for if you want to automate the mix amount to get these like cool dubsteppy 909 snare hits that kind of fade out and trail out. You can automate the mix on that, or just put it on your snare, and that could be pretty fun. Another thing that I like doing on here is when you go into your toolbox here, you've got the container, and when you're using the container, you can actually control lots of different items. You can throw items inside of it and then control them. So like, let's say for instance, let's say I wanted this inside of here, okay? I could set the control to here, right? And let's say I also want something like this. Okay. So now I've got this one control controlling both of these knobs. So you can get lots of different interesting sounds that way. And then, of course, just by kind of tweaking things on here and automating it, you get lots of really cool patterns and effects out of it. So Guitar Rig is just basically a way. Don't think of it as a, quote, guitar rig. Think of it as an effects rig. This is where you can just throw all your effects in here and go nuts with it and just get lots of really interesting sounds. And you know, just sit here and just do amazing things with it. You've got parametric EQs on here. You've got, you know, all sorts of great things. Your filters on here are awesome. The wah-wahs are great for your drums. And you can automate the on and off knobs of each one of these pieces as well. So, you know, there's lots of different things that you can do with Guitar Rig, not just use it for guitars. So I thought I'd just do a video for you showing some of those things and getting funky with it. So, peace.